What do I want to say about restaurant owning in Canada? I would say don't do that. If you do not have a passion for food, if you think that this is a way to make money,
The skin is perfect. It's incredible.
I would say that you are doing the wrong business. This here is magic. This is jerk sauce. I make it, you can't beat it, sorry. I want you to bring that back and show you culture, or show you my culture. Trinidadian culture is fets and limes and, oh. If you ever heard of, in Canada or Toronto, we call it Carabana. Just like a pure, innocent party. Everyone's just having a good time. That's what I would say Trinidad culture is. What I want to do is to show you that exact order. Do not come after me and don't open another restaurant to come after me, dude. That wouldn't be so nice.
Day, me say day, yo. You know that? Daylight come and me want go home. Day, me say day, yo. Daylight come and we want go home. Food, it brings people together like a community. And the way they cook in Jamaica, even if it's a small family, they cook like they're cooking for the Jamaican army. Booyaka, booyaka, the shamrock.
Well, the only reason why I'm doing this is to bring Caribbean culture and especially Trinidadian culture and just show what ethnic food is really about.
Everything just looks so delicious. I think my grandma would be proud. Bananas are a staple in Jamaican diet, and it's something that we eat a lot, almost every day. You go to the restaurants and instead of rice and all that, you can order bananas and yellow yams.
Jamaica. The island was discovered by Christopher Columbus in 1494 and became a Spanish colony in 1509. In 1655, it was captured by the British, who made it their so-called sugar colony. Due to a large number of sugar plantations, early 19th century sugar production went into decline, and only in the 20th century, the island economy significantly improved thanks to the agricultural exports such as coffee, coconuts, and of course, bananas.
Jamaica was at one point controlled by Spain for about 165 years, and so Jamaicans spoke Spanish until the Spanish-English War, and the English actually beat Spain and took over the country. So if you go to Jamaica right now, there are some places that still has Spanish names. For example, Spanish Town. That used to be the capital of the country for a while, and it used to be back then Sevilla de la Nueva, right? Spanish Town. See, girl? Don't I sound sexy speaking Spanish? Oh, listen, Sevilla de la Nueva, it just rolls off the tongue, doesn't it? I'm loving it. So there's still a lot of Spanish influence
I'm learning.
in the island, let me tell you.
So Trinidad is a very unique style of food that we have. It's very multicultural. It has Indian roots, Portuguese roots. And basically, a lot of colonies came into Trinidad and Tobago and took over the island for very short, brief amounts of time.
Trinidad. The Caribbean island was first discovered by Columbus in 1498, and in the subsequent 2 centuries, it was colonized by the Spanish. They unsuccessfully tried to develop agriculture on the island by cultivating tobacco and cocoa, and in 1797 ceded it to the British Crown. After Britain outlawed slavery in its colonies, Trinidad began importing foreign labor, large number of workers from India and Europe, people who later formed a unique nation known as Trinidadians.
Our population is 50% or 48% Indian, 48% African American, 4% mixed. So that's pretty much our food in general. Caribbean food to me is like a spicy curry. Pepper is one of the main ingredients for most Caribbean dishes. So I would describe Caribbean food with spice. I'm very proud to be Trinidadian, and actually a Trinidadian saying is Trini to the bone. We definitely have family traditions in terms of food. Some of the traditions that I would remember would be cooking together on a Sunday morning. You all come together, you make that food, and just remember the more simpler times of just sitting there and enjoying your company of your family, which is just unmatchable. I can't even express to you in words what that brings back for me. I feel a lot of history with a dish called Sada Roti. I would say that's my favorite Trinidadian dish to eat. That dish in general reminds me so much of like home, reminds me of home cooking, reminds me of like my roots. Every Sunday morning, that would be the only time that my family would cook this, would cook Sada Roti. Just that smell, alone, it's just like a smell of baking bread almost, and it ruminates the whole house, and it's just like fresh, like wheat smell. It's just amazing, and when you see it, the way it raises and it pops up, it takes a lot of skill to get that to happen, and just love that smell, and it's really inspiring.
Sada Roti. Sada Roti is one of the main staples of Trinidad. The technique was brought up to Trinidad by the indentured servants who came to work in the sugarcane fields, beginning in the 1830s after the end of slavery.
I'm Ronnie Ramsawap, and I own a Roti Roti restaurant. We're going to show you how we do a traditional Trinidad-style Sada Roti. So with the Sada Roti, it's a plain shell. We use the plain dough. Ingredients are simple: all-purpose flour, a little bit of salt, a little bit of sugar if some people wish to put sugar, and baking powder.
Now I'm gonna go cook Sada Roti. So this is how we roll it. You roll it nicely round. So this is the Sada Roti, and this is how it's been cooked. So now we have to wait until it swells. See how it's having a nice color? So it needs to be cooked on a slow heat. If it go on a high heat, it would be raw. So this is the finishing process of the Sada Roti.
In the old days, people were really traditional. If you can't make a good Sada Roti, you can't get a good husband.
It's so important to me for people to see Trinidad and Tobago for more than just like quick, fast food. My thing here is quality. I'm reaching for the stars in terms of food quality. Like literally every dish that goes out of here, if I'm not happy with it, I wouldn't serve it. Today I'm going to be showing you how to do some Caribbean dishes. The most classic dish that everyone would know, jerk chicken.
Jerk chicken. The original method was developed by the Taino, the indigenous people of the Greater Antilles, who later passed it to the African slaves, who in turn adapted it and created the actual recipe. The spiced meat was wrapped in leaves and then placed in with hot rocks and covered. The modern recipes differ by the different spices used in the cooking of what we know today as jerk chicken.
We're going to be seasoning this chicken with some salt, some peppers, some herbs, some spices. So I'm going to start by making like a green seasoning here. I'm just going to be taking the leaves off of the thyme itself. Now I took out the thyme from the branches here. This is shadow Beni, as I know it, or bandania. Add that to the bowl. In here we have some pimento pepper. These are not spicy at all. They have a tremendous flavor though. The flavor is very much like a habanero pepper, but no spice at all in it. The secret that makes this one different than many others is right here. This is a real scorpion pepper. It's one of the spiciest peppers that are out there. Now, we're not trying to kill anybody or make it too spicy or make it like unedible. So what we're doing is only put one pepper. This is one of the spiciest peppers like in the world. Super, super duper secret. Do not touch your body anywhere after cutting the pepper like this, because you're literally it's just gonna burn. Even if you rub your eye right now, your ears, it's gonna burn. So be very careful with that. I'm just gonna be using half an onion for this recipe. Okay, so now we have the onion. We're gonna be putting some garlic now in it. So the way I like to cut my garlic, I like to take the knife, press down. That'll break up the garlic and make it much easier to cut. So then you could just go ahead and dice it. Here we go, we got pretty much all the green ingredients here, the fresh herbs, the spices, the peppers. So now what I'm gonna be doing is adding the chicken in here. Then I'm gonna start adding in the dry ingredients, then the wet ingredients. So I'm gonna add the chicken. This is rock salt. And this rock salt is actually infused with smoke. So this actually gives a very unique flavor. So I'm gonna be adding this salt. In this one here, I have chicken flavoring. Gives it a different taste, a different texture. Okay, this here is Jamaican Allspice. I milled it myself so that way I could get the most reach, and that way it can stick to the chicken itself. So this is Jamaican Allspice. This here is magic. This is jerk sauce. So this though, I make it, you can't beat it, sorry. Soy sauce, it's pimento peppers, it's ground up with, and it's literally sat and sits to season. We're just gonna go right into it, so. The last thing I'm gonna add here is some honey. There's one more final ingredient you wouldn't think goes into it, but it does. We're gonna use beer. We're gonna add enough beer to submerge the chicken in the beer. And what we're gonna do, we're gonna sit this overnight for 24 to 48 hours to just really get the flavors from all of the seasonings that we put in to sink in overnight, to let the salt, the allspice, everything just sink into the meat. And honestly, the flavors that you're gonna get here is it's just such a unique thing. Okay. So 24 hours later, it's done. All right, so that's pretty much the whole seasoning part of it. Right now I'm gonna be getting it on the tray and getting it ready to put in the oven. We pre-bake it. You never want the chicken to actually touch. That's like the biggest thing. I could line them up, but don't let each left from the beer with all the marinades and stuff all on the chicken. So it's gonna be cooking now for 25 minutes in the oven at 375, and that'll be its pre-cooked stage. Then we're gonna get it on the grill. So there we go. You can see, oh, look at the back of that. It's perfect. The skin is perfect. It's incredible. You're just gonna get the Caribbean in one bite.
We came together because this is Jamila's new home, and we hadn't been since she moved in. And we just wanted to do a celebration just to say, congratulations on your new home. And we hope you're going to be very happy and very comfortable here with you and the children. I decided to cook something. So hello, my name is Carleen Millwood, and I am here today to represent my country, Jamaica. And I'm going to be making a dish called Mackerel Rundown.
Mackerel Rundown. Rundown is a Jamaican stew dish made up of coconut milk with seafood and vegetables. Rundown is a Jamaican patois for rundown, meaning runny or liquefied, thus describing sauce or fish crumbling apart after thorough cooking.
This is a dish that my grandmother used to make a lot when I lived in Jamaica. On Sunday mornings, this was one of our main breakfasts before we went off to church. So mackerel rundown is done with a fish named mackerel and all the beautiful Jamaican spices of, tomatoes and onions and garlic and all of that. I'm going to put all of it together for you right here. This is my canvas and I'm going to be painting a beautiful picture for you. And I will be assisted today by none other than my sous chef, Miss Nadine Spencer. She is actually one of my bestest friends, if that is ever a word. And she came today to help me out. You can start cutting these up for me.
Okay.
And then you don't have to use all of the pepper, but just enough. This is the mackerel right here. And usually before we do anything with it, we cook it for about 10 minutes so that it's well prepared and ready to be sauteed with all the beautiful vegetables we're going to cut over here. So I'm going to get the mackerel ready. I'm going to put it on the stove to start it cooking for 10 minutes. So while I'm waiting for that to boil, I'm gonna leave the mackerel right there for a moment. And then I am going to start working on the bananas. First, I'm going to wash them. And then I'm not going to take them out of the skin today, but I'm going to slice them down the middle so that when they cook, it's easier to cook and it comes out nice and soft. Nadine is continuing to cut stuff over here, and I'm going to deal with the bananas over on this side. As you see, like I said, we can either take the bananas all the way out of the skin, or we can just do a little slit along the side, put them in the pot, and then once it's cooked, it's easier to slide the skin right off. Less time and less work. So that's how I'm doing it today. Thank you.
So are we drinking anything today?
Yes, we are. We're going to be making carrot juice, which again is another favorite. Well, my favorite anyway. I can't speak for all Jamaicans, but what I know is that on Sunday evenings is when we normally have carrot juice. Jamaicans are very traditional in some ways. So there are certain days of the week where the dish is always the same. On Sundays, it has to be rice and peas and some form of meat, whether it's chicken or pork or oxtail, but it always has to be rice and peas on Sundays. And one of the drinks we always have with dinner is carrot juice.
The carrot juice drink is considered the crowned king of all Jamaican dinner juices. However, it contains alcohol, so it has to be consumed in moderation.
There is no drink without a touch of Jamaican white rum in it.
Yeah.
Just a tip, because guess what? I don't want to get drunk today, okay?
Okay.
And then she's just going to pour that in, sweeten to taste, and then mix everything together. And we're going to put that to chill while the rest of the food is being cooked. When you were growing up, did you ever get threatened with a wooden spoon when you misbehaved?
I did.
So the wooden spoon has a lot more meaning to us than just stirring stuff. It's the thing that we were always afraid of. If our mom held it up, we know we would get back in shape if we were misbehaving. She never actually used it. All she had to do was to hold it up. That was the sign that, hey, I'm coming for you. And that was it. Lots of
Well, this is how
memories.
Jamaicans taste test things,
Okay,
actually.
fine. Since you're more Jamaican than me, go on.
I'm not.
How is it?
I think it's perfect.
So I have to do the taste test in the hand too?
Yes, just
All right.
because, just to make sure.
Okay, good.
But I think it's good.
Oh, yes. It's perfection.
Thank
It
you.
doesn't need anything more.
Call me
No, I
Mrs.
was
Carrot
talking
Juice,
about the
yeah.
drink, not
No,
you.
you're talking about me.
No. Perfection, the
You're
drink.
talking
Yeah. Now, dumplings is another big thing that Jamaicans love. Which Jamaican don't like dumpling? Nadine, do you like dumplings?
Yes, I'll
Oh,
fight
you
for them.
do? You fight for them, right? And we used to get upset when our parents would make food without dumplings. So all we do, we put just plain flour, a little salt in the flour. So I am now going to add my bananas to the pot because it's boiling nicely over here. And then go back to making my dumplings. This is coconut oil. This again is something I like to cook with. Jamaicans like to cook with coconut oil. And so we put a little bit of oil in the pot when we're cooking green bananas. And the reason for that is so that the oil helps to keep the pot clean so that the bananas doesn't stain it. I go back to making my dumplings. Day, me say day, yo. You know that? Daylight come and me want go home. Day, me say day, yo. Daylight come and we want go home. Come, Mr. Tallyman, tally me banana. Daylight come and we want go home. 6 and 7 and 8 and bunch. Daylight come and we want go home. Enough of that. Let's get to work.
All right. Dumpling time.
That's enough of that. Dumpling time.
Dumpling time.
Okay, so I'm gonna make some dumplings for us today. And all this is flour, salt, and water. Just a little bit to start. Okay, and we just get it together. Pour some more for me. Awesome. Oh, maybe now it's time for a prayer. Father, you know we depend on you for everything.
Yes.
And I'm depending on you right now to bring this flour together.
So the dumpling comes.
While we're doing that, I'm going to go over here and just turn the stove off underneath the fish because it's now ready. And I'm going to let it sit for a bit while we finish up the dumplings, and then I'm going to prepare to make the fish now.
That's how I do it.
Yeah. So
Is
put
that
your
too
muscle.
small?
Do it about that size. And now we're going to put them in the pot, and we're going to add them to the banana pot. Look, I'm fixing up the Canadian dumpling. You see what I'm talking about? I love her though.
Really?
I really do love her. My Jamaican Canadian friends. Now the reason I put the banana in first, the banana takes a little bit longer than the dumplings to cook. Do you know how you know when dumplings are cooked?
Actually, I don't.
So when the dumplings are cooked, they literally just float to the top of them.
Okay.
Right? So then you know they're ready to go. So I'm dropping them all the way down there and they're sinking to the bottom. So I'm just going to add a tip of salt in here just for flavor. And within a few minutes, this should also be ready. So while we're waiting on that now, I'm going to cover this again and just leave it to simmer for a bit, for another 5-10 minutes or so. And we're going to now focus on making la pièce de résistance. Yes, we do speak French also in Jamaica. So we have all our ingredients here for our mackerel rundown. So what I'm going to do now, while the bananas and dumplings are still cooking, I'm going to take the mackerel off, get the frying pan ready to put everything in. You can actually do that for me if you don't mind.
Okay. So Carlene, I'm gonna put the garlic in now.
Yes, put the garlic in, then that flavors the oil a little bit, and then you can add the rest of the ingredients.
Ooh, you can smell the garlic.
Yeah?
Already. Yeah.
Awesome. So you know what? You can add the other stuff right now. Jamaicans don't break up time. We just put them in long, just so. Oh, you know what? Why don't I hold this for you?
Okay.
And you can do it in one fell swoop.
Oh, okay. I can. Okay.
No.
Oh my goodness.
Is it the food or is it me?
No, you smell good too. But the food just. The coconut.
Yeah. And there is no Jamaican recipe that is complete without some Scotch Bonnet pepper on top of it, right? We're not going to break it. We're just going to do it around the top, okay? Just going to pour it over here.
Perfect.
So let it simmer for a while. What I'm going to add to it is some cayenne pepper. I'm going to add a little black pepper,
Okay.
right? Just a pinch of each. Just regular.
You're actually very good.
And
at
so
that.
now I am going to pour some coconut milk, and that's also help the flavor to pop a little bit. And that's why it's called rundown, because this is going to simmer down and give it this nice creamy texture. Yummy. Now we got our juices there and our seasonings. Now it's time to add the fish. And you notice that I broke the fish up in small pieces. Just easier to handle that way. Everything just looks so delicious. And I can't wait to dig into this. I think my grandma would be proud. Here is how we take the skin off the banana. It's as simple as that. Just peel it right off. See how the banana is nice and soft? Oh, that one broke apart. I'm going to do that. I got it. And I'm going to put it right. You can tell which one is the Jamaican dumpling versus the Canadian dumpling, can't you?
Oh, please. Okay.
We know. See, the Canadian dumpling doesn't even want to come off the fork. My
so wrong.
goodness. Alrighty. So we're going to add the mackerel rundown. Look at all of that. How
so
beautiful it is. Look at the
good.
texture of that. Isn't that beautiful?
Yes.
So I'm going to try to get some up here. Voila.
High 10.
All right. So, Nadine, would you like to do the honors?
Yes, I would.
Okay.
Heavenly Father, thank you so much for this food. Thank you for Carlene. Thank you for this beautiful home for Jamila. And we thank you for all this great fun. In Christ's name, amen.
Amen.
My grandmother would have been so proud. Oh my lord.
Oh my gosh, okay, dumpling time.
Ting-a-ling-a-ling, school bell ring, knife and fork, a fight for dumpling. Booyaka, booyaka. The Shabba Ranking. Big up to Shabba Ranking right now. Thank you for that song.
I'm very proud to be Trinidadian. I want you to remember some good times when you eat my food. Maybe it's not the smoke that will remind you of your mom's jerk chicken that will bring out the flavors and make you remember your home, and that's why I do this. I want you to bring that back and show you culture, or show you my culture.
It's been over 30 years since I left Jamaica. Our dishes are the only connection I have back with the island. Oh yeah, I'll drink to that.
Oh my goodness, memories.
So good.